Let's talk copper. I'm going to focus here on Filo, which is part of the Lundin family group of companies. The stock pretty flat today, advancing about 11% in the past year. Now, Jefferies says this company is sitting on a potential giant copper deposit. It's on the border of Chile and Argentina. There's also gold and silver there. It is mostly in Argentina's San Juan province, near to the border. Argentina has been a tough place to invest for foreigners. Currency controls, and in some provinces, there is anti-mining sentiment. However, they have a newly elected populist right-wing president, Javier Milei, and he could change things for foreign investors. We are joined now by Jamie Beck, President and CEO of Filo. Thanks very much for coming on the show, Jamie.
Thanks, Andrew.
Just give us the headline. How big is this project that you're working on, and where is it again?
Yeah, we're still working through trying to figure out how big it is. That's a big part of our exploration work that's currently underway. We continue to drill big step outs from the known mineralization, and it grows with every drill hole. But in time, I think Filo will definitely rank amongst one of the great copper deposits in the world, right up there with the Escondidas and Grasbergs, and Colwaysies. Yeah.
Is most of the value, nearly all the value, in copper, or is there significant gold and silver?
There's significant byproduct credit here. If we completed a pre-feasibility study on a very small part of the deposit a few years ago, and that's a good guide. There was about 50 to 60% of the revenue in copper, and call it 40% as precious metals.
You're on the border of Chile and Argentina. Now, apparently the two countries have an agreement. Workers can go to, and contractors and equipment can cross the border. But according to Jefferies, it could complicate environmental approvals.
Yeah, it's a really unique agreement, actually. It's called the Mining Integration and Complementation Treaty that exists between Chile and Argentina. That's a mouthful. We call it the Binational Protocol. And it sort of breaks up into two aspects. One is exploration, which, as you say, is a huge advantage for us. We can work and operate in either country. We can access the project from both countries. We can select a fuel contract, for example, from one country or the other, depending on where we get the best price. And as you move towards exploitation and actually turning this into a mine, it lays the framework for how you'd ultimately go about development, including how the countries would work together on environmental permits. So it adds a level of complexity, no doubt, but a very established framework in place to help work together and move projects like this forward.
What's the altitude of this thing?
It ranges at our highest altitude. We're about 5,300 meters above sea level, and where some of the lower drill holes are going in, they're around 4,500 meters. So it varies over that, and then of course our mineralization extends at least 1.8 kilometers below that surface elevation.
Some people might be thinking of Pascua Lama, which was such a difficult project for Barrick. They had to take huge write-offs. Is there a risk? I mean, that was a challenging, high-up project as well.
Listen, I think executing on these big projects, there's always a risk, and it comes down to the quality of your team and the quality of project management to execute successfully. Certainly, Pascua Lama is an example that investors may be aware of, but lots of successful ones. Barrick's operated the Veladero mine 100 kilometers to our south, and we've just had some really successful builds. Anglo-American at Quellaveco comes to mind. So I think proper management, proper planning, that there's always risks, but you can minimize those risks by being well prepared.
So the Lundin family, they have another project, Jose Marie, which is only about 12 kilometers away. So could yours get combined with theirs?
There's certainly a lot of speculation out there that this is an emerging new copper district. And I think the benefit of having multiple deposits like Jose Maria and Filo del Sol close together is that future opportunity to share on infrastructure. Andrew, these giant mines are largely infrastructure projects as much as they are mining operations. So things like power lines, things like road access, concentrate transport eventually, So if there's a chance, to benefit on future synergies that might be achievable between Jose Maria and ourselves, certainly we'd look to try and take advantage of those.
Do you have a clear signal yet from Buenos Aires as to whether the government's attitude to foreign mining will change? Will life get easier under Mr. Milei?
Cautious optimism, I think, is the best term for it at this point. I heard your sort of opening remarks, and we share that view that it seems as though one of his key sort of platforms is trying to encourage additional foreign investment in country. The mining industry has a huge role to play in that. I think it can create jobs, and it can drive economic growth in Argentina. And we're starting to see the implications of some of the changes he's making. There's an investment act in front of the government as we speak, which hopefully will reduce some corporate income tax rates and ease some import-export duties. And then, as you mentioned as well, I think one of the next big areas is going to be a reduction in currency controls and a freeing up of the flow of money in and out of the country. And I think with those two things in hand, we'll really start to see the mining industry ramp up in Argentina.
And now BHP, I believe, is your second largest shareholder. So that kind of complicates things. BHP is desperate to get hold of more copper as well.
Yeah, topical. Obviously, we've seen their approach to Anglo, and I think that just heightens everyone's desire to grow in copper. Whether they're successful in this proposed takeover attempt, one way or another, that I think this is going to kickstart a bunch of, M&A, and it's really great for all of us to have copper in the headlines, and highlights how hard it is for companies to grow their copper business. I think that's what positions Filo so well, and BHP's equity ownership in our company obviously was a show that they think this is a kind of project that has the potential size and scale to grow into something quite remarkable that perhaps they want to be involved in the future. So our drilling this season, and what we're hoping to try and show is a bit of a disconnect that's currently in the market at the moment. We think the shares aren't reflecting the value of what we've drilled off today. We think that it's actually going to be much, much bigger than most analysts and most of the market are currently giving us credit for. And that kind of size, that kind of duration is exactly the kind of growth asset that I think the majors will be clamoring for in copper.